Overall, pretty good, quite dominant, felt quite comfortable out there. Don't mean to disrespect Aberdeen in any way, but I don't really feel like they were able to create any sort of threat. Maybe 2-3 occasions, but even that wasn't really. I felt quite comfortable in the back line. I think going forward in the first half, we needed to do more. Had a few good chances, but overall we also needed to create a lot more, which we have then done in the second half. And then it can be quite delightful and quite enjoyable, I think, watching us, which we haven't done enough throughout the season, not consistently enough. But on the back of not having won here for 7 games, I think, and also not being able to keep a clean sheet in quite a while, I think that was overall a satisfying display.
Were those two things, the lack of home victories and the lack of clean sheets recently, were they two things that have been discussed internally in the changing room?
It's been addressed. I mean, the gaffer, he's a proper ranger. I think he bleeds blue, and he makes sure that he gives us those little pointers, because these things are important if you play for this club. These things are what the support cares about. So he definitely made a point of addressing it without overstressing it really, but he just made sure that we don't forget about it.
Niko Raskin getting the Stadium Man of the Match. How much have you seen him grow as a teammate this season?
A lot, because I remember around this time of the year, last season, maybe a bit earlier, he just came off the back of an injury, I think, and he struggled a bit just to find his rhythm and to get minutes as well. And then if you see the player that he grew into this season, fair play to him. It's not easy, especially if we are on such a rocky ride that we have been on this season. But I think he's grown a lot, and it's impressive really. It's just important, I think, to keep the bigger picture in mind, because he's still young. I think if he carries on like that, there's a real play in him. There's loads for him to look forward to. And I think he's been a joy for many people this season, especially towards the end of the season. And he carried a few niggles here and there, went through it. So yeah, delighted for him.
Liam, he's been spoken as somebody that one day, future, depending on what happens with James, could perhaps be a future captain here. Do you see that kind of characteristic in him as somebody who can be a proper leader at this club?
In Niko?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, not trying to bash him here, but I think he's still young. There's probably still a few things he has to learn, which is only normal. Because I think, I mean, I can't look into his mind, but I think that as much as it's enjoyable, it's quite a lot for him to process as well. And I mean, if you get man of the match pretty much every week, the whole stadium sings your songs, it does get you excited sometimes, and maybe you lose track a little bit of things going on around you. But again, it's a process, and that's normal. I think a lot of good players have been through that. But he definitely has a lot of qualities. If you just see his energy on the pitch, the way he's trying to demand of players around him, definitely.
You say Leonie's still young. Do you think he can go further in the game? I hope so.
Further in the game, as in how far?
Well, you tell me, how far can he go?
Well, it depends. I mean, I think he showed his quality in Europe, which is always interesting for teams in Europe. Like I said, there's a player in him. There's probably things he will have to learn. It probably would help him if he scores a few more goals. But again, he's came from a rough patch in terms of injuries, and I think he made not just one, probably 2 or 3 massive steps forward. So I think the doors are open for him to reach, what you say, higher heights is probably wrong, huh? But greater heights, that's the one.
There's obviously a lot of change coming over the summer. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the squad, and as you look ahead to midweek and potentially this being your last game here, what are your emotions heading into that game?
I try not to think about it too much. I'm quite relaxed, to be honest, but maybe that's just who I am. I can be very, very emotional, but I will keep that for the moment where I have certainty, which I don't have at the moment. So
you are still hoping that perhaps there could be a place for you?
It's written in the stars. I'll trust the big man upstairs, and some people up here in the club. So we'll see.
But I mean, even at 37, you still only shown this season that you can still be, you know, effective player for this team?
I think so. I mean, without trying to sound arrogant, but age is nothing but a number. I've looked after myself throughout my whole career pretty well, I would like to think, which is the reason why I can still perform at this level. If I would feel that I start to really struggle, I will admit it, but I absolutely do not feel that way. Felt even at times this season and even last season, I trained more than ever, because I remember when I was around 22, 23, and I played with some senior players. There was only one, I think, Michael Tarnat, you might remember him. I think he was 37 at the time. It was my first year as a pro. He was managed here and there, and all the other ones around 29, 30, 31, 30, they were all managed. And I was always saying to my best friend back then, I can't wait for them days, you know, when you don't have to do the full training week. But not for me, apparently. Times have changed, but I've adapted. And long may it continue. And just have to do what I can on the pitch and off the pitch to keep my fitness. And I think I've found my recipe to do that.
You know, you're here or not, do you sense an excitement that's coming because of the changes that summer? Would you like to be part of that new era?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's going to be challenging as well, I think, because we have what is it? I thought there's a big badge. There's a big badge. We have a big badge to uphold, and I think in recent years we've probably done more to lower it a bit, and we need to put it high again. And I think it's not a light badge, as we all know. But if I can be part of a group that kind of polishes it again and lifts it up again, of course, because I said it last year, I think, or maybe the last time I was, or before I left the first time, that this has become my club now, because I never really supported a team die hard. And if, like I said, if I can be part of refurbish, I think you say, then I'd sign that.
Last couple,
Are you
please.
prepared to wait, Leon? Obviously, people are saying that they want decisions, they want to know what's coming, but are you prepared to wait to find out if you're going to have a future?
I think I have no choice, that's one. And I'm very blessed that my father from a young age taught me the value of patience. So I'm just gonna have patience as always, as I've had all my life with many things. And then I have to see what's happening.
When do you expect to be informed of the club's decision? Is that something that
It's hard to say, because, like I said, it's not in my control. I don't know at what stage the whole thing is. I mean, they're on the search for a manager. I don't really know. So, not my business really, until it becomes mine. Hopefully.
in terms of you've been told when the club are going to sit you down as players and inform you what's happening next?
Like I said, I don't know if there are any deadlines. I can't say. I would tell you, but I can't.
Leon, if it's not meant to be, you mentioned being a Rangers fan now, if it's not meant to be,
Mhm.
you have to leave this summer. How would you reflect on your time here at Rangers and your place there?
I think I've won everything domestically, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm proud of. I would like to think, or I hope, I would be remembered as somebody who played his heart out all the time, because I think that's just how I'm built. Like I said, proud but also humble, because I know there's been many players before me who have achieved a lot more, and I think you always have to put things into perspective. But definitely the best time of my career. I said it before once, that I wish I would have been in an environment where you just expected to win all the time. A lot earlier in my career, because I don't know, maybe I would have ended up at Real Madrid. Who knows? I don't know. That's for you to decide. But no, I've really enjoyed every single second, the good times, also the bad times, and yeah, it's become family. So.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.